Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Information Paralyzed podcast. This is episode 30. How amazing is that? Now, me and Connor, we are going to talk about wisdom and its opposite. Connor, what would you say the opposite of wisdom is? It's one word, and yeah.
Wisdom and its opposite is foolishness.
Whoa!
Right?
Yeah, I may have said it before, but yeah. So wisdom and foolishness. Whoa, dude. So we've all been wise and we've all been a fool. And the thing is, with foolishness is behind everything that sucks. So addiction, being afraid of conflict, all this stuff that sucks and makes life suck. So wisdom, let's see how we can develop it.
I want to say something when someone says you're a fool, or it just comes off kind of harsh, you fool.
Yeah.
I would try to recontextualize it as more of just okay, I'm just learning. All right, we're kind of all in this together, and it's just a natural progression of our growth as human beings. We're not fools. When you call someone a fool, they're like, oh, I identify as a fool now.
Yeah.
No, you're just in growth, as we all are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult because I think there's an art to communicating this stuff where
definitely
we don't we avoid keeping the identification going, talking about who's enlightened and who's not, and crazy.
It's you have to be careful too. You have to know the person and what level of development they're on, whatever model you want to use.
That's wise.
You could use the level of energy book, you could use Spiral Dynamics, or your own thing. You might want to call someone a fool and make them feel bad, and that would spark a domino effect of thoughts in their being to improve their lifestyle, or or if they're a bit more sensitive, you could just say what I said a minute ago.
Whoa.
You gotta it's different for everyone because they're all on different levels or stages.
Yes. So this is amazing because we could say it's quite foolish to, just in the neutral sense of the word, it's quite without emotion. It's quite foolish to tell people you're a fool if you do this, or to speak in such a brash way as I did.
There's a quote I came across, and it was arguing with a fool proves there are two.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah. And I think Sadhguru said that or something. And there was this business guy, and the business guy and Sadhguru, it was just a picture, but there's a business guy, and he's like, what are the secrets to life? And Sadhguru is like, do not argue with fools. And the business guy's like, I disagree. And Sadhguru is like, you are correct.
Wow.
Because he's not gonna argue with
spiritual memes. That's a great meme.
Yeah, it was a meme, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean so let's see how we can apply that to different situations that people might be in. Let's talk about addiction and wisdom, if we can. It's quite ambitious, going off the cuff.
Yeah.
So one of the principles is or one of the one-liners is, wisdom comes from experience. So I've learned in my own sort of food addiction journey from moving out into my own flats that it's it's difficult to sometimes avoid sugary food. But then what you got to do is build up the experience of healthy equals good. You know, it's fucking great.
Yeah, exactly. Like the more you meditate, the more you can like pick up on like your body, and like, how is my body feeling right now, instead of just like stuck in the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like I can feel my body saying, "Thank you, Connor. Thank you for eating that salad. I feel great now."
That's amazing. Yeah, I resonate.
Yeah. And also like just some of the things I learned from being like vegan or vegetarian, kind of in the middle of that, is just like, if you want to improve the health, your health, like, just, it's all about like proximity, so like literally just like make a list of things you want to get, go to the store and just get those things.
Whoa.
Nothing else.
Yeah, I like it. I like this shit. Yeah.
And then you take all that food home, put it in your fridge, and now you're kind of stuck with that food. You can't really like eat some ice cream just random, because you don't have ice cream. You just don't have it. Or like if you just buy vegan food, you're gonna be vegan until you go to the store again. So like, you're in proximity of all that healthy food, so there's not really, you don't have an option to like eat junk food. You're just gonna eat healthy food, and more healthy food.
I'll tell you about a problem I've had regarding this. I live 3 minutes away from a corner store. I live 3 minutes away from the sugary shit. But when I first moved in, that wasn't a problem, because I was like, I'm never ever gonna, walk mindlessly to the fucking. But I did, and I, underestimated the power of the craving. But yeah, that's a great point, though.
It's also like, the thing the little scenario I just said like a second ago, I don't think it's like foolproof, because there's like the ego backlash, like how you just like, you've been eating healthy food for like 2 weeks, and you're like, God damn it, I just want some like sugar, or like some of that. So it's a balance, and you gotta just like pace yourself, don't try to do like 100 push-ups in one sitting.
Yeah, so I've got a little concept that up on screen. It's called the addiction quadrant. Now, my overarching, dude. So like, my overarching thing is like, imagine what life would be like without addiction, and also like, I mean the subtle addictions as well. Addiction is usually a strong word, but like, I'm talking. And if we can create our own habits, like, if we know what it takes to like, that'd be crazy. And that's the journey I'm on. So the addiction quadrant is good equals good. We need to up that, increase good equals good experience. So when I say good equals good, I mean whatever we choose to be good, which is usually sort of whole foods, and whatever we find to be good. And try and decrease the good equals bad experience. We've all had that, where you're not eating the bad shit, and you sat there and you just got a broccoli in the fridge. So like, that's what we're talking about. And this is why parents need to be like, I don't know, but like, when you're a kid and you have vegetables on the plate, you're just like, this good stuff is bad. It tastes like shit. So that's classic.
It's kind of like, you really don't want to go to the gym, but you're making yourself do it anyway. But what you should get to is just like, I want to go to the gym and go to the gym.
Yeah, dude. Wow. Yes. So if you imagine you can make yourself want good stuff. And this is the same question as imagine if chocolate was healthy. We've cracked the code. I'm talking, honestly, this concept is the best. I mean, this is my best work.
Very helpful. Did you make this model?
I did. At least I came up with it.
Sick.
Yeah.
Could write a book on it.
I'm going to write a book on it, literally. This is my notes.
Cool.
But yeah. And then, so that's on that side. And when it's in balance, good equals good and bad equals bad. We know that, right? That's balance.
Yeah. What is bad equals bad? Like, what's an example of that?
Well, bad equals bad is when I think back to how I was throwing up pasta, how I was throwing up cereal.
Oh.
And also just...
so it's like the part where it's like, okay, I know this is bad.
Yeah.
Like someone, like a hangover, like you were drinking out too much.
That's it, dude. It's
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, so we got good equals bad, good equals good, bad equals bad. What's the other one?
Bad equals good. Classic.
And what's an example of that?
Okay, I'm salarying my cookie and watching porn, just like, this is so good, but it's so bad. It's when the bad thing is
so like going out on a Friday night to drink or whatever.
That's it.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, that's the easy one. Okay. Yeah. Sweet. Maybe just the first step to someone trying to solve their addiction would be like identify where you are in the quadrant.
Yes, dude.
And just like map it out. Like
map it out. That's exactly
Friday, I was totally in this quadrant, totally, and now I'm over in this one.
Yes, yeah.
Just to recognize those patterns.
It can be done with literally anything. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's take it to the world. Let's go on a conquest. But yeah, so for example, like this conversation can be put in there. So if you're enjoying this conversation, then that'll be whether or not you think this is good. That's a thing as well. So you have to define what you think is good and bad. Now, also, we know that good and bad is relative, right? So
definitely.
But I see the utility in the thoughts, good and bad. Like, it's good. Well, it depends on what we believe we are. If I believe I'm a table, the death of millions of people is not good or bad. If I believe I'm a person, it's bad. Thank you, everybody. There we go. Here we got to the grand illusion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I was thinking about the different levels in spiral dynamics and how like when I was listening to the audiobook version, he just mentioned that like he was like quote, don't try to think that, or don't try to recognize like what is good or right or wrong. That's like a much deeper discussion. Like you'll have to go in philosophy to find that out, or like talk to a yogi or something. But just try to like think about what the other person thinks is right or wrong. So like a red person on the quadrant would be totally different from like a green, yellow, turquoise person on the quadrant.
Yeah.
Like they might be complete opposite backwards.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a good dynamic model you have, the quadrant. It can fit within everyone because everyone has good and bad until, at least until they're at the unity consciousness point, which is starts at turquoise.
Oh my God, man. And the thing is like, so if we talk about the higher shit, like, I mean, the thing is, it's like, so if we're a spiritual being, whether I have a concept where it's just like, we're using this body. I think many people, like, we still kind of have a body to use and to direct, but I think that's too deep for right now. too airy fairy.
Yeah, we might get on a little tangent if we do that. Did you want to mention anything about the Levels of Energy book, like the insights from that, or like the Sex at Dawn book?
Yeah. Okay. So that Sex at Dawn is yet to arrive, but
Okay.
I will. Yeah. So this book, you might not be able to see it, but yeah, Levels of Energy by Frederick Dodson. I'm not sure if it's wise to go into this yet because it's
Okay.
deep. And you said you didn't have that much time, so
Yeah, I have some things due today. I have to just get them done.
it would be wise. Yeah, so let's talk about Socrates and how I know that I know nothing. What does this mean?
Yeah. Like oh gosh, what did Sadhguru say about this? You just have to like realize that you're a fool, because if you think that you're wise, then you're kind of a fool. But if you realize you're a fool, then you're humble enough to say to be open to like deeper wisdom.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah, man. So like when you think you're right, there's nothing. You have to empty your cup.
Then you actually close yourself off from like anything else.
Yeah,
You know, be like, I figured it out. You're just like stopping yourself, like hitting the brakes on the spiral dynamics evolution model, or like whatever model you want to think about.
yes.
But if you're like, you know what, I think I figured it out, but I could be open to other possibilities, then you're kind of like just tapping the brakes a little bit, understanding things,
Holy shit.
but keep on going.
So with my veganism thing, you know me, I recently, right, veganism, I'm very hard on it. I'm like, veganism. That's the way. We need to all be vegan. But the thing is like, I can be open to maybe it's not actually like the right thing for me, or I don't know. I mean, I keep open minded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just tough because like the PDF I sent you is just like so
Yeah.
it's just so tough to like think of anything else unless if you're like a hunter gatherer in an island.
Yeah.
It's really
Oh, yeah, it's tough.
pretty strong argument. But
Yeah,
you know, if someone can disprove that,
kudos.
more power to you.
Check out the
You're,
video in the description that we're talking about. Yeah,
yeah,
I put that.
it's a very tough argument, and that doesn't even touch on speciesism. So
Yeah, so like I think, I mean, the way I could open that up is say, well, it doesn't actually matter because who are we? You know, what are we?
go like super Buddha
Yeah,
level.
yes. I mean, really, like
Yeah.
if I made a point and everyone understood it that we are the entire Earth and we are all the animals that are being slaughtered. It doesn't matter. Eat what the fuck you want. Whatever happens, eat what you want. That'll piss someone off, vegans, but yeah. So that's why we should.
Yeah.
I can still be. I can allow open-mindedness, even though I'm strong on that point. So
Yeah, just like a slightly different perspective. But yeah.
are there anything in your sort of mind that you're strong about and that you maybe might want to increase the open-mindedness about? Or anything like me and vegan?
I just think like awareness is important. I mean, it really, what I say right now is a reflection of my environment and the people I deal with. So take that into consideration. But the people, it's tough because everyone's at different levels of stages, and some people just are completely fine with the level that they're at. And I think that the Earth is like ascending, but like collectively as a human species, there's mass meditations happening like all the time with millions of people, and it's really cool. And due to the Maharishi effect, that's like moving in the collective conscious up.
Yeah.
And it's just like science, they've done experiments on this stuff. So it's really interesting, the fact that you have, on one end, you have the entire globe moving up. And then on the other end, you have people in that globe completely fine with their low level of consciousness. And I just don't know how that's going to turn out, They're going to have to change one way, or they'll like die. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of pondering my brain.
So is that like are there any beliefs that you're like clinging on to that you could loosen your grip?
Beliefs that I'm clinging on to. I don't know. Maybe you could tell me. It's tough to like.
Yeah. First thing the first thing that comes to my mind is like the New Age stuff, so the Merkaba stuff and this stuff, that kind of genre. But like, this is such a weird conversation.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. That stuff is like, I don't know. It just kind of resonates with me. And the fact that like it's done through science, and he's like, you can measure these things with instruments. It's pretty cool. Eventually, I want to like move and just like hop around teachers. I want to like graduate from this teacher and move on to the next one, and not just like spend my entire life on one teacher.
Yeah. I guess
just like how someone reads the whole Bible their whole life and no other books.
Yeah. I've been following Leo Gura since I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so like, I guess the litmus test for whether we have a belief that we're clinging too hard to is whether we get offended if people sort of bring it up in this context. So if you said, if this was the other way around and you were like, I think you might have some Klingons to veganism, and I was like, you fucking what? You what? Then you'd be like, oh, this guy. You need to let go.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I could see that. Like the reactiveness opposed to just
dude. Whoa.
like the knee-jerk reaction,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I myself.
So I'm like gently open-minded until someone like can, I guess, until someone can prove me otherwise. I'm just gonna like keep going and keep doing like fully understand the teacher, and then move on to the next one, and maybe if I find a contradiction in there, that's like a great insight.
And by the way, just to preface this conversation, we are lucky because even though we're talking about epistemology and we're like, how do we know what we know? We're still happy. And we're still going to be happy, and like, unless we really take a turn for the worse or something. But like, so what I'm saying is like, we're kind of safe to go into the mind and see the self-deception, and I like that. I'd like to preface that. Yeah, I'd like to put that.
Yeah, like we're not gonna be like killed or anything for like challenging our beliefs.
Yeah, and it can feel like that. It feel like
like definitely like centuries ago, that would have been really tough.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because if you spoke to your like father and you're like, yeah, I've been looking into my beliefs lately, and like, you know, I was thinking, like, how do I know? How do I know that God's real, or like something like that? And like, and that question is the same as it's literally the same as, hey, Father, how do you know that God's real? And he's got like pissed. Yeah. So yes, but now we're safe. We're safe to do this. Information Paradise in the comments. We're safe to do that. This is a safe space. Epistemological shit. I don't know. So yeah, like how do we know? Because the thing is, you were saying like you go through the teachers and you'd be like, because I asked myself this as well, like how do I know? I'm using my own mind to understand this. So once I think that I've understood it, I'm actually just understanding it with my own mind, which has been conditioned. I think this is where Socrates was, where he's just like, I don't actually know anything.
Yeah, that's pretty deep right there. Jeez. I don't know. I think there has to be a balance between the like the intuition and using like your higher mind or whatever, and just kind of knowing something, selflessly knowing something, and the like actual logical, like, yes, I can understand that 2 + 2 is 4. You know, but if you want to get into quantum theory, like 2 + 2 doesn't actually equal 4. It's a different discussion, but but just for that example, does that make sense roughly?
No, I was laughing, but no, not to me. Could you say it again, please?
Like when you're just understanding something, like if you can use your intuition and use your logic mind together, kind of like the left and right hemispheres, and not just like solely rely on one or the other. That's a good start.
I see what you mean.
Anyways, before we wrap it up, what are some other things? 'Cause I gotta get going in a little bit.
Well,
maybe we could do a teaser for the other next video.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So let's think about some topics perhaps for the next.
Yeah, we were actually thinking of doing like a book.
Yes.
Discussion kind
of a book club.
So that
I'd say.
Yeah, in a book club.
Yeah, where people in our group chat, and links in the description if you want to join that. People in our group chats, we all read books. So, and we all read different books. And so the premise, I guess, is that we'll each like dive deep into a book and then talk about that book in a specific podcast. So, and teach it to the others.
Yeah, like with questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that not only not helps us, but it also helps the reader from the book.
Yes.
You learn something deeper when you teach it.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna like, I don't think that people are gonna read the book more than once and then teach it. So that's a little bit of a drawback, but it's still very helpful.
Yeah. So, I mean, as we say, like some books, you get insights for years and years and years. So, but yeah. All right, man. Let's end it here. And
okay.
Thank you, viewers, for checking it out and fucking subscribing and liking and learning and loving. Because when you love yourself and your family, my family, myself gets affected too, no matter where you are.